the most heartless thing you've seen someone do. When my 4-year-old daughter Sophia came back from the daycare, her underwear was on backwards, and when she sat on the potty, she cried out, "Mommy, I don't want to sit down. It hurts." Her entire gown there was littered with patches that looked like a rug burn. Sophia came home injured today, and she mentioned Mr. Victor. I said to the daycare owner when I called her, but she cut me off. Victor is our most experienced aide. If your culture has some sort of bias against male aides, then I recommend you work through it. Beep. She hung up. The next morning, I watched Victor like a hawk. He only approached certain kids: Diego, Isabella, Lucia, all Hispanic. I pulled Maria aside before drop-off. Her son Diego had started wetting the bed again after 2 years of being dry, and there's a cologne smell, she said quietly. Diego's hair always smells like it. That's when I learned about the others. Isabella's mom found her trying to put 2 pairs of underwear on. Lucia stopped eating lunch, said it made her too sleepy for choosing time. I went to the director with 5 other mothers. She looked at us with contempt. If you're unhappy with our care, you're free to leave. Though I should mention, making any public false accusations could affect your legal status in this country. The ICE threat. 3 mothers walked out immediately. Maria and I stayed, but we'd soon regret it. Victor became friendlier after that meeting, always asking about Sophia's favorite toys with too much interest. That Friday, Sophia's beloved stuffed bunny went missing. I found it on Monday morning in Victor's car when I parked next to him. She must have dropped it, he said when I confronted him. As soon as he left, I called CPS, not even caring about my immigration status anymore. How long has this been going on? The woman asked. And when I said 2 weeks, she actually laughed. Children have accidents. Toys get misplaced. Without evidence of abuse, there's nothing to investigate. Meanwhile, at the police station, the officer didn't even write anything down. A teacher helping kids in the bathroom isn't a crime. Maybe focus on potty training at home, Lucy. He already knew my name. Your daycare called. Said you might come in with accusations. 2 weeks passed with no follow-up as I watched as my once bubbly child deteriorated in front of me. She regressed completely, panicking if I tried to leave her alone in any room. 2 weeks later, the director called me in for a meeting. When I arrived, Victor was there too. Sophia has been extremely difficult, the director said. Victor has graciously offered to provide one-on-one support during quiet time. I said absolutely not. The director smiled. It's not optional. Either Sophia receives the support she needs, or we'll have to terminate her enrollment, and I'll have to report to the state that you refused recommended interventions. I couldn't lose daycare. My job barely covered rent, and I'd already used all my sick days. My mom was in Mexico. Every babysitter wanted more than I made in a day. Friday morning, Sophia grips the car door. "Please, mommy. Today is assessment day. They're going to take our pictures for the special families." I didn't understand what she meant, but I had 17 minutes to get to work. When I dropped her off, Victor was standing at the door. He took Sophia's hand and smiled at me. "Don't worry, I'll take special care of her today." Something about how he said special made me turn around and follow them inside. Victor was taking Sophia down the hallway marked staff only. I could hear her crying and his voice saying, "Remember what we practiced." I kept going and heard Sophia's voice from behind a door marked storage. She was saying, "I did it right? I was quiet like you showed me." Victor responded, "Good girl. Now stand against the wall." I grabbed the handle. Locked. I could hear a camera clicking inside. I kicked the door even harder. Crack. The lock broke. Sophia was standing against a white wall in just her underwear. Victor had a camera. 2 other children, Diego and Isabella, sat on the floor with tears streaming down their faces. Victor stepped between me and the door. "You're trespassing. I'm calling the police." He was too calm, like he'd done this before. Sophia was clinging to me, whispering, "I'm sorry, mommy. I tried to be good, I promise." Victor grabbed my phone. "You stupid woman. The director's brother is ICE. Her sister approves daycare licenses. 1 call and you'll be deported while Sophia goes to a nice American family who can actually provide for her." I grabbed Sophia and held her tight against me while reaching for Diego and Isabella with my other arm. Victor was still holding my phone, but I pushed past him hard, my shoulder hitting his chest as I moved toward the door. The kids were crying and clinging to me as we stumbled into the hallway. Victor followed us shouting about how I was trespassing and he'd have me arrested, but I kept moving. My legs felt weak, but I had to get these babies out. Other staff members started poking their heads out of classrooms to see what the noise was about. Victor kept yelling that I was crazy and kidnapping the children, but he couldn't actually grab us with everyone watching now. I scooped up Diego in one arm while holding Sophia's hand and telling Isabella to hold onto my shirt. We rushed through the main daycare area where other parents were starting to arrive for pickup. Victor was on his phone now, probably calling the director, but I didn't care. I pushed through the front door and into the parking lot where I saw Maria's car just pulling in. I ran to her window and banged on it with my free hand. She took one look at our faces and Diego's tears and immediately got out of the car. I told her in fast Spanish about the storage room and the camera and the kids in their underwear. Her face went white and she grabbed Diego from my arms. She called Isabella's mom from her phone while I held Sophia, who was shaking. Maria said we needed to go to the hospital right now for evidence before anyone could make this disappear. She put Diego in her car seat while I got Sophia and Isabella into my car. We drove to the emergency room with Maria following right behind me. At the hospital, I carried Sophia while Maria brought Diego and Isabella. The triage nurse saw the kids crying and asked what happened. I told her I found them being photographed without clothes at daycare. She stood up immediately.